He worked at a car manufacturing plant, earning just enough to cover rent, groceries, and Lily's school supplies. Their apartment was small, but it was filled with drawings taped on the fridge, laughter after homework time, and the warm smell of pancakes every Sunday morning. In Lily's eyes, her father was a superhero who never failed. She never knew how many nights he stayed awake wondering how to pay the next bill. But one cold November afternoon, everything collapsed. The factory shut down. No warning. No severance. Just a folded letter handed to each worker as they stepped out of the gate for the last time. Ethan stood there in disbelief, staring at the words until they blurred. For the first time in years, fear hit him like a punch. He had $78 in his bank account, rent due in 5 days, and a 7-year-old waiting at home for dinner. He walked home slowly, almost rehearsing how he'd tell Lily without breaking down. When she ran to the door with her backpack bouncing, hugging him with her usual bright smile, Ethan felt a lump rise in his throat. He sat beside her on the couch, gently brushing her hair behind her ear as he told her things might get a little tricky for a while. Lily simply held his hand and said, "It's okay, Daddy. We'll be okay because we have each other." That small sentence became the strength he didn't know he still had. Days passed, and Ethan sent out application after application. He got no replies. Their fridge slowly emptied. The landlord's reminders became warnings. Ethan sold his old tools, his watch, even his TV. He skipped meals so Lily could eat. But one night, when the landlord taped an eviction notice on the door, reality hit him harder than ever. He sat on the kitchen floor, face buried in his hands, while tears he had suppressed for years finally broke free. Lily found him and silently wrapped her tiny arms around his shoulders. It was that moment he promised himself, he would not give up. They moved into a cheap roadside motel. The room smelled of dust and cheap detergent, but Ethan made it feel safe for Lily, placing her teddy bear on the pillow, reading her bedtime stories, reminding her every night that this was temporary. He began working 2 part-time jobs, one at a gas station and another delivering groceries. His hands cracked in the winter cold, his back ached from lifting boxes, and his eyes burned from exhaustion, but he kept pushing. Every morning before school, Lily wrote little notes and slipped them into his jacket pocket. "You're the best, Daddy. Don't forget to smile. We'll get our home back." He kept every single one. But life wasn't done testing him. One evening, while rushing between jobs, Ethan's old car stalled on the highway. Smoke rose from the hood, and he stared helplessly as the last thing he depended on gave out. With no money for repairs, he spent nights walking miles from job to job. His feet blistered, his jacket soaked in rain, yet he never let Lily see the exhaustion behind his forced smile. Still, in all the struggle, there were moments of unexpected kindness. A coworker at the gas station covered a shift for him so he could attend Lily's school event. A regular customer tipped him $20 just for being kind. A grocery delivery client, an elderly woman who saw him limping, insisted he take a box of leftover food. Each small gesture became a spark of hope. Then came the turning point. One morning, while delivering groceries to an office building downtown, Ethan noticed a man struggling with heavy boxes near the entrance. Without thinking, Ethan rushed over to help. The man thanked him and started a conversation. His name was Mr. Campbell, the owner of a small tech repair business nearby. Impressed by Ethan's work ethic and humility, he asked if Ethan had experience with tools and machinery. Ethan nodded and explained his years at the manufacturing plant. 2 weeks later, Ethan got the call. He was hired full-time, with better pay than he had ever received before. For the first time in months, Ethan felt the weight on his chest loosen. He picked up Lily from school early, swung her into his arms, and told her, "We're going home soon." Her eyes sparkled, and she squealed with excitement. Within a month, they moved into a modest but cozy apartment. Lily decorated her new room with stars on the ceiling. Ethan bought a second-hand couch and a small dining table where they could eat together again. Things slowly returned to normal, but Ethan was no longer the same man he had been. He had been broken, tested, pushed to the edge, but he had survived. One night, after tucking Lily into bed, he sat by the window, watching the lights of the city flicker. He held all her old handwritten notes in his hand, the reminders of every moment he wanted to give up but didn't. He realized that he hadn't lost everything. The one thing that truly mattered never left his side.